Here we go. All right, well, there's definitely lots to talk about here. Connor Burke joining me. Are you okay, buddy?
I'm a little heated.
Yeah?
But it was, I'm all right.
Yeah,
I feel like it's all right. But.
Yeah, Zach Felak with a hard hit there. And happened right in front of Lee Baisley where he sits. Pardon me. And he said right in front of me it happened. He goes, I get why it's not a 5-minute. But he said there should have been at least a 2-minute tripping on that one.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
And it didn't show, and then I don't know if it's because of that, but then not 2 minutes later, down in the other corner, the exact opposite
Bridgewater.
corner. And then this is 4th OHL game. Terrible to see. He still has a cage on. That one, I don't know what to say about that. That's rough. I understand it's as much as it is a tough job. You got to have some kind of accountability and maybe even some consequences when you miss calls like that. He got 2 minutes for boarding, but it didn't even show on the scoreboard. There wasn't even a...
No, they didn't have them up on the scoreboard, but then they did go through. Josh Boyce was announcing the penalties and everything, so I don't know why they weren't on the scoreboard.
Yeah, somehow they figured that offset with all the fights that happened. So.
Yeah, and, the Sarnia Sting, when Bridgewater went down, they reacted. There was, for a moment, there was 3 fights going on.
Good for them.
One ended quickly, but then... Yeah, is that a fair response to what was going on? Do you think this is dirty pool?
I don't know, but the first one seemed like a bit of an accident.
Yeah,
but
that's what we kind of said.
You kind of see a couple and you're like, all right, well, someone's got to do something. And good for Kostick.
Yeah.
He's a young player too, dropping his gloves. That's a tough job. Some of these guys are a lot older, and it sucks to get in a fight. Nobody wants to get hit in the face, but
no. And you could hear. There's 4,007 fans here. Not all Sarnia fans, but it certainly sounded like all 4,007 were they were really. Ref, you suck.
Yeah,
That's what they were saying,
I
right?
Hope that might have been heard on the broadcast. You go back and watch that. I'm sure that was pretty loud.
It was. CHOK, you could probably pick that up on there. They were. And a bit of the chatter upstairs where I sit, I can only say so much, but it's basically wow, this is rough, right? And this is, there's rough play, and then there's, it's too much. There's a line, right,
Reckless.
that's got to be drawn sometimes. Do you think they crossed the line?
I think so. Again, these are kids sometimes. You got to protect the best interest of the player. And if they're scared to go into the boards because someone's going to drill them from behind and put their neck into the boards, where's the accountability, I guess?
There you go. That's fair. Now, you're a young fella. We've talked about this before. You're the closest out of all of us old guys to the age demographic that's on the ice there. Are you in the locker room right now, and as the coach, are you probably trying to calm these guys down and say, listen, I get it. Who knows, agree or disagree, but there's really nothing you can do about it. You just have to... how do you calm these kids down right now?
It's a new period, and you look at the shots, and it's you would think it's not a close game, but it's tied, and they're in this, and they want to get out of control and take some undisciplined penalties. Then you're not going to win it. But
they're 26 shots on goal to our 9 is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But the ones that count are the ones that go in. But, there's still, I imagine, where would we be if we had more shots on goal? How come we're not getting those shots on goal? What are you seeing out there?
I think it just looks like a little lack of drive, maybe.
Yeah.
They're slow to get to the puck and slow to get to the net. And Windsor's buzzing, and they get, and maybe not the nicest shots, but a lot of they're putting everything on net. And Serzic is doing a great job of keeping us in it. He's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe just shooting more. It doesn't have to be the perfect shot. You don't have to get the perfect pass. Just fire it. And sometimes he'll lose sight of it, and it'll slide low, slide high, tip anything on the way to the net. Just get the ugly shots sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's right. We've sort of teased before about you don't have to make it on TSN highlight reel.
That's right.
But and sometimes just shooting the puck at the goalie. Even if you're there and maybe you think
just the general direction,
to just wake him up and keep him alive. Say, I'm coming after you. You better stay awake.
Yeah, keep him moving in his post, both side to side. Don't let him be comfortable. He seems a little comfortable. It's 9 shots in 2 periods.
Al Letang is always one of the calmest coaches we've seen in the entire OHL. And I would have thought I would have seen a little more reaction, but we didn't really see a whole lot.
I'm not really in a good sight line, so I was looking for it too, but I can't really see.
I think he was kind of shaking his head a little, but he like I didn't see him arguing with the refs saying, WTF, like what's going on. So
I watched your broadcast with Billy, and I know, like he said, you almost lose credibility. Like if you're yapping all the time, maybe they're not going to listen when you really want them to. So that's a big part of it. Like he's a pretty calm guy, but
he is.
Maybe
he's definitely working. I be a fly on the wall in that locker room right now, keeping.
I'm sure they're fired up.
Well, I mean, I would be.
Yeah, you got
no
two
matter
guys
what
down.
age, right?
Maybe both of them aren't coming back. But I mean, I definitely don't think Felix coming back. But you're down two guys now.
Yeah.
Now you want to win it for them, not just for the group. Definitely, especially for those two.
Right. 2 apiece. This is a 0-0 game right now, and
it's a brand new game.
We've seen a lot of excitement. Let's go back to the game against Ottawa. You were here for that as well. An 11-round shootout. Your thoughts on that?
That was a heart stopper. Absolutely incredible. I was on my feet the whole time.
Yeah.
What a shot from Moses too to end it. Like I heard he said, like, just put me out there and I'll finish it. Just kind of.
You did see that, eh?
I did, yeah.
He was like, just put me in, coach.
It wasn't a joke.
Let me end this stuff right now. This was.
He really
and he
did.
even said,
I'm
everybody's
glad he
being
did,
too fancy there, right?
Yeah.
You don't get extra points for being fancy, although I do have to say, and I'm giving credit to Dalen Moses, no doubt about it, but he was pretty fancy putting his in there. Like, that was a
nice
backhand
goal.
over the head.
It wasn't a simple shot.
Right?
Props to Ameri too for keeping us in. That was a beautiful backhand.
The whole game. Well, there were pieces of it that were a little boring, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But then once it got going, and then that shootout, it seems like we've always had long games against Ottawa.
Yeah, they showed resilience for sure.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah. So you're coming out in the third period. You're the Sarnia Sting. You're heated. Like, you're heated, and you don't even have skates on. So,
right.
Okay, we got to get calm. We got to just chill, right? What else does the Sarnia Sting need to do that's maybe missing out there? Just to complete the deal here.
I think they're they could probably lock up a little bit on defense. Like, that's a lot of shots for 2 periods. I'm sure Cervici is a little sick of getting peppered in that.
Yeah.
But
well, looks good on his stats, but
yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah, maybe lock it down a little more. Keep some of the shots to the outside. Take them off of Cervici. Yeah, like that's a heavy payload to carry.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's more to come. Like, they're not stopping either, obviously.
Well, whatever happens, post-game is going to be interesting for sure. We'll be doing that from the restaurant as well. And don't forget, have you got your trading cards too?
I haven't got a pack yet, actually. I should go get
all right.
some.
And Thursday, you can come here and into the restaurant and get them signed by your Sarnia Sting.
Very nice.
And then the Sarnia Sting got a lot of work ahead of him here. Coming up Friday, Erie Otters coming to town. Not going to be an easy task there. And then Guelph again, too. So
2 teams that are really... Yeah, they're buzzing.
This is critical time right now, too. We want Flint to lose right now.
Yeah, that's right.
We want to get into the right spot of the playoffs.
You could just sneak right in. They're just there. This is an important game, too. Like, Windsor's just behind us.
That's right. It really is.
Don't want them to gain any ground.
All right, Connor. Thanks for coming back, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And thanks for coming out last night. I did my comedy bit last night.
Yeah,
and,
you were incredible. You had me laughing.
Were you shocked at what I said? Were you like, really, Mr. Burrows?
No, I expected it.
There you go. It was
NSFW.
Right. I'm not done yet. I'm just getting started.
I'll be there for
Never
the next
mind
one.
hockey. Right. All right. Well, we're having a good time here, but seriously, we need the Sarnia Sting to come out and win this one. It's a critical game here. We'll have more at the post-game press conference. You never know, win or lose, who's going to show up there. Live from the concourse with the Sarnia Sting, I'm David Burrows, and of course, this is my friend, Connor Burke. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Go Sting, go!